Hi, I'm Jess.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And welcome to Rediscover, a space where we engage in authentic conversation about life as we grow through it and whatever comes up along the way.
Nothing is off the table here. We talk about the real stuff, the hard stuff, the beautiful moments, and everything under the sun.
Around here, we're always rediscovering, sharing empowering stories, and connecting our hearts and minds with every facet of life.
We invite you to be part of the conversation as we broaden our perspectives, release limitations, and grow to create our most joyful and fulfilling lives together.
So grab a cup of something cozy as we rediscover all the best parts of you
and bring a little magic into your day.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jess.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And welcome back to this month's episode of Rediscover, our first international recording of phase 2.
Wow.
We're recording I'm in Rothenburg, Germany. And
I'm in good old snowy Buffalo, New York.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, it did snow there this week, didn't it?
It was wild. I guess we can just dive right in if that's cool with you.
Obviously.
The snow was like a segue, but obviously it's December, it's the holiday season. You're living your European Christmas dreams. And yeah, we have probably a foot of snow right now. It's really beautiful. It was a little treacherous driving the other day when it was just all coming down so fast as it does in Western New York. And of course, none of the plows had been out yet. So we're all just like white knuckling it, but it's part of the experience. It's part of the charm. So
yeah, my mom was out at an appointment and she went in and then she came out and then it was treacherous conditions to drive home. So she's like, I made it home, but that was very scary. I'm like, classic Buffalo, but I'm very thankful you guys are all safe. Yeah, it actually has been snowing here too. Not quite as much, but we started the month with fall leaves and now we're ending it with some snow. So it's been a magical full circle moment. Snow elevates the mood. It really gets me in the holiday spirit and just like makes me appreciate life even more too.
Yeah, it just absolutely makes the holiday season. It's just so special and it doesn't really feel like Christmas time without it to me. So I'm very excited about the snow. And we also had an appointment that day and I refused to cancel it, and I'm so glad I didn't, and I'll get into that soon. And then we were going to the Jonas Brothers concert Monday night.
Yes, I wanted to ask, how was the concert?
It was so fun. I was going to say we dragged Anthony, but every time I've said that to anyone, he's like, you didn't drag me. Stop telling people that. So,
I mean, you can't not have fun at a Jonas Brothers concert.
Can't. And I didn't think I was going to get to go to this tour because my sister and we went to Happiness Begins. I mean, I've been to like many Jonas Brothers concerts over the years, obviously. And then my sister being 6+ years younger than me, I had to like bring her in and introduce her to the Jonas Brothers. And of course, their like renaissance brought in a whole new fan base. So Happiness Begins, we went to that tour in Orlando in 2019. And that was like, the last concert we went to before the pandemic, the last concert we went to together. Like, I don't know that she and I have been to one together since then. So we were going to go in Orlando in October, but then she wasn't able to come down when I was there. And I was like, that's okay, whatever. And then I just like happened to be looking, or like something popped up on my Instagram or something. Listen, I have been a sucker for those Instagram ads for shows, concerts, comedy stuff, whatever. I'm like, ooh,
how fun.
That marketing is working. But I was like, oh, they're going to be in Buffalo and it's a Monday night. Like, would Anthony want to go? Because he's off on Mondays. And sorry, Cooper is sniffing the microphone.
That's the little jingle bell in the background is the doggy.
There's 2 golden retrievers here because Penny can't be here. So I supplied other golden retrievers.
Perfect. There's always got to be one.
Yeah. But I just like happened to look, and then like tickets were definitely more reasonable than I'm used to because Orlando shows tend to cost more. And I was like, you know what? Let's do this. And I texted Anthony and I said, how much do you love me? And he said, a bunch. And I said, enough to go to the Jonas Brothers concert with me and my sister. And he was like, hell yeah, I'm in, fire it up. And I was like, okay. Great.
Yeah. They put on a great show.
I do. He had so much fun. My sister and I were screaming like lunatics. There was a little dicey moment at the beginning of the concert where my bag came unzipped
Uh-oh.
and all my stuff fell out, and I didn't realize it until I looked and was like, oh my gosh, all my belongings are on the floor. And so, of course, like people are screaming, it's dark, there's like flashing lights, and I'm on my hands and knees trying to find my driver's license and like my
Oh
credit
no.
cards and everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was kind of a nightmare. And I had this moment where I was like, okay, Kristen, you can let this ruin your night, or you can like find your stuff. No one's going to take anything during the concert. The lights will eventually come up. You can look for the rest later. Like, I just didn't want to like let it cloud everything. So I was able to find my driver's license. That was the thing I was most concerned about. And then I lost some other little things, but those things are replaceable. So other than that, it was so great. There was no snow at all in the city, of course. So as soon as we drove out of the South Towns, it was like green grass. And I was like, okay, well, I guess if we get stuck here, it's not that big of a deal. But it was really, really fun. They did do like it's Christmas, like right in the middle. And I got very excited because I went like Christmas concert attendee. So I was looking forward to that.
Oh my gosh, that's really special because I saw them over the summer, so I haven't seen that song in person.
Yeah, I've never
It's a
seen it
classic
live
now.
because all the concerts I've ever gone to were in the summer. So this was cool because it was right after Thanksgiving. Like, you know, that's when the world totally transforms. Like everyone's Christmas lights are suddenly on and the radio stations are playing Christmas music, and like it just felt like a great kickoff to the holiday season.
It felt like it's Christmas.
It felt like it's Christmas. So that's what we did Monday, and it was really, really fun, even though there's a snowstorm. And I don't want to get into the other thing we did Monday yet because I feel like I've been talking for like 5 minutes straight about the Jonas Brothers. So I'm going to let you talk about what's going on with you because it is so cool.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't even really know where to begin here, but yeah, so updates on my end. So we're coming up on the end of month 1 of phase 2. It's been a month of German bliss. I have absolutely fallen in love with this country. I had no idea that I was going to like it this much. It's just been so much fun. So we've been staying in Rothenburg, Ob der Tober. I believe that's how you pronounce it, but it's
I just want a segment where you just pronounce German things.
Oh my gosh, it's really challenging. I'm so self-conscious about pronunciations because I feel like when I do voiceovers on like Reels or TikToks, people in the comments are like, you pronounced that wrong. And I'm like, I just don't even want to try.
I know I did. Okay.
I know. I am not educated on every single pronunciation in the world, but I'm trying my best, but whatever. This town, it's a medieval town. So essentially all of the buildings are very old and colorful. It's just like a walkable town, cobblestone streets, church towers. There's a wall around it, like a medieval wall where the night guards used to man the wall and make sure nobody would come in and try and attack the town or start fires. Yeah. It's been around for a very long time. It actually almost got bombed during World War II. We learned this on our little night watch tour, but this beautiful town, like that would be so devastating, but it almost got bombed during World War II. And one of the commanders that was on at that time, his mom had been here before, and she had pictures of Rothenburg at home, and he like wasn't even supposed to be the main commander. It was supposed to be another guy, but he was there, and they weren't supposed to be doing any negotiating or surrendering, but he had like made this executive decision, like, okay, if you guys do this, then we won't, bomb the area and we'll just leave. And they like agreed to it, a truce, and thank God, because now the city is still standing. And it's just, I know that would have been just devastating because it's amazing to see this place. Like it doesn't even feel real. It feels like a total storybook, fairy tale type town. And I love that they have, a year-round Christmas shop here. They've got Teddy Land, like a toy store. They've got beautiful
Der Teddy Bear. Isn't that what the one in Epcot is called?
It probably is.
I think it's called Der Teddy Bear. I think I remember that being like something Allie and I thought was funny in high school.
I love that. Obviously, I don't know a lot of German, but I've started to learn little words here and there.
Yeah.
And I always get surprised by this every time, but when we're immersed in it, you learn pretty quickly what certain things are. So I'm like, oh, I know like 10 to 20 German words without even really studying it. And I think that's pretty cool.
I was just talking about this yesterday. Anthony and I were out doing some Christmas shopping and stuff, and we stopped to have like a little like happy hour drink snack thing just because we were like, oh, we need to sit down. And we were talking to the bartender, and Anthony will say Dankeschön a lot to people, which is thank you in German.
Yep.
Because someone close to him who passed away always said it, and it's his way of like keeping them alive. And so the bartender said Bitteschön, which is you're welcome. And he was like, you know German? And she was like, oh, I lived there for like a few weeks or a month or whatever. And it's amazing what you just pick up when you're immersed in it. And then now I feel like I've forgotten everything because nobody around here speaks German. So it's crazy like how much your brain is a sponge, but it's also leaky. So like,
yeah,
if you're immersed in it and you're hearing it all the time, you don't even realize what you pick up and internalize. And then when you stop hearing it all the time, you don't realize what you've forgotten until you've forgotten it, if that makes sense.
For sure.
So, yeah, it's cool that you get to like walk away from, this month in Germany, like, wow, look at everything I learned. So then you and Steven will just have to keep speaking it to each other so you can keep it sticky.
Yeah, Steven totally takes a word or a phrase from every country that he's been to or lived in or whatever.
Pura vida.
Yeah, Pura vida from Costa Rica. From China, he'll say Jayo, like let's go. And obviously like a lot of Italian words we'll throw in there. Just, sprinkle them in. And I think that's fun. That does keep the memory alive of that place. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, besides the town that we've been staying in, so we also went over to Neuschwanstein Castle, which was a dream day. I was
so excited.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, I have a full vlog on YouTube of the day we went over to Neuschwanstein Castle, and I highly recommend watching it. It's very magical and fun.
The snow, I like.
The snow.
I love that it wasn't snowing, so you had that like perfect, clear, unobstructed view, and then like that just gentle like dusting over everything.
Mm-hmm. It was
so cool.
It was just one of those things too. Like we were both like, what's going on? Like everything's so perfect. Like I felt the orchestration happening in that day because we planned it 2 days before we went. The only ticket available to do the little audio tour was at 3 p.m., which I would have never booked an afternoon one. I would have booked it first thing in the morning. But because it was at that time, we got to have that fall morning. We did the hike when it was clear. We saw the castle from the bridge when it was clear. And then we left for lunch and came back. And then it transitioned into this snowy winter wonderland snow globe environment.
It literally looks like a snow globe scene.
Yeah. And we were just in total shock. And those are the moments why I love to do this traveling crazy lifestyle, because those are the things that make me feel alive more than anything. And it's not like anything in particular about it. It really is like the orchestration and that feeling of everything coming together and working together and being this beautiful, like inexplicable experience that you're just in awe of. Like that awestruck feeling it's just so magical. Like I know I say the word magical all the time, but it's so true. That's what I like to focus on in life, and just cultivate those moments and find them in the big moments and the small ones too. Because I'm sure there were so many people there who were like in the snow and they're just like, okay, it's snowing, right?
Right.
They're just kind of like, whatever, this is annoying. It's getting in my eyes. I'm cold, whatever. But we were like in this total childlike bliss of just being immersed in it all. And
way to full circle it. I was just about to say that.
Were you really? Yeah. And it was fun. It makes you appreciate being alive and getting to experience stuff like that. So.
And the town you're in was like the town that was the inspiration for the Germany Pavilion at Epcot, right? Or did I make that up?
So yeah, that's the one we're staying in. So Rothenburg is one of the main inspiration points. Yeah. And then the castle's about 2.5 hours from here.
Okay.
So we just rented a car for a weekend. ever really rent like long-term vehicles when we're doing this, because we try to pick places that are walkable or have public transport. But in Germany is a lot bigger than I thought. So
yeah,
it's really big. So we drove down to the castle and just stayed over there. And it's near the Alps, which is crazy too.
yeah.
It's just insane
You're
how
like, Italy's right over there.
I know. It's insane how close you
Yeah.
are to all of these things.
Yeah.
And like if you drove 2 hours in the States, you really wouldn't get anywhere.
I would be somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Right. I know.
It's like, oh, okay, I'm just in the same place. It's just called something different. Like,
Exactly.
it's very hard to like find, unless you're in California, it's hard to drive like 2.5 hours and see something different.
Yeah,
If that makes
totally.
sense. Like terrain, landscape wise. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I love it out here, because you drive 2 hours or you take a train for 4 hours and you're in like a new culture, a new architecture, environment, landscape.
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated by it. I'm just so interested in seeing all the differences. So it's very fun. And one more thing, because I do want to go back to you shortly. But while we're on the topic of the travels, there is one similarity out here that I thought was just so interesting. And there is a Epcot ball geodesic
oh my God.
at one of the theme parks here in Europe.
My sister was like, did you see that Ratchet theme park that Jess and Steven went to?
Okay, so that
I was like, yeah, she's like, how do they get away with that?
It's so funny because that is everyone's reaction. And this park, I went into it, I was like, it's going to be hokey. It's going to be like, whatever. This park was so good. I'm not kidding you. The way that this park was designed, it was so detailed. It literally could have been Disney quality. Mm-hmm. The Epcot, I just call it the Epcot ball, whatever you want to call it, geodesic sphere. The Epcot ball is literally only in France. So it's a ride building for it's called a Can coaster for France. So it's not like the main icon of the park or anything, but the park is divided up into 16 lands and they're all based on different European countries. So it's so smart because you're in Italy and you have like the Venice canals and that sort of architecture. Then you go to Scandinavia and it's all just the different designs on the buildings and everything. So it was really good. And the rides were great. They were really great. Like some of them were intense.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no. And I got to debunk that myth. Like I literally thought it was going to be this like off-brand theme park. And no, it's totally its own thing. It's actually very good. We were really blown away. Like the
Epcot thing just makes me laugh. Like
I know. Well, and you're gonna laugh too at this, like the Pirates ride. It's called Pirates of Batavia. It's
funny.
Very similar, like drop boat ride, show scenes. The haunted house ride, doom buggies, singing tombstones, like the whole thing. The hang glider ride, they have smells, golf balls, like it's on the nose. The icons of the park, Ed and Edda, they're mice.
They're mice. I know.
It's amazing. I don't know how it's so on the nose, but
how is this allowed?
I know, but like I hope they don't change it because it felt like getting a bonus international park,
Yeah.
Because I thought I would never have that sort of experience again. Because I'm like, okay, I've done all 6 around the world.
Right.
So it was like a 7th. It was like a 7th park,
so
unexpectedly. Funny. But no, very good. Big roller coasters too. Very fun. But
I just think it's so funny.
I know. So yeah, if you guys are ever in Germany, Europa Park, and if you're a Disney fan, you'll love it. It's fun. Yeah. It's like going to Disney.
That's so funny.
There's no lines.
Oh, well, then there you go.
Yeah. Well, in November anyway. I think we waited. Yeah, I think we waited 30 minutes for 2 different rides, and then the rest were 5 minutes or less. So, yeah.
And I'm sure the price of admission is a little cheaper than a day at the Magic Kingdom. So
yeah, I think it was €67, I want to say. So that's like a lot cheaper. But anyways, so yeah, those have been the highlights of month 1.
Is Steven enjoying the cuisine in Germany?
Oh yeah, definitely. We've got sausage, sauerkraut,
Beer for days.
beer, lots of beer for Steven. He's loving that. The spitzel, I think that's how you say it. It's like the homemade noodles. They're so good. So any sort of dish I can find with the spitzel and mushroom sauce is divine. So if you ever go to Germany, look for that on the menu. But yeah, the food's been really good. I'm getting a lot of protein.
Good. I know. I was like, dang, this is a lot of meat, but that's good. That's good because we protein deficient girlies.
Oh my gosh, I know. I always get
Never
yelled at by
consume
my
enough.
doctors. They're like, you need to eat more protein. I'm like, I try so hard.
Okay, I'm going to Germany. I hear that they're carnivores.
I guess I have to go.
For my health.
Or yeah, it is. And also they have so many little cakes and things too. And the cakes are so light. I think just that having cake here is more often
I think
than at home.
I don't want to make a blanket statement for Europe in general, but I think European cultures embrace the idea of like a sweet treat. Like we've criminalized it in American cultures. We're like, oh, feel guilty about it. Oh, you have to work out a little extra to earn your Thanksgiving desserts or whatever.
Ugh,
and you know, it's really like in Italy, you don't eat a savory breakfast. It's only a sweet breakfast, and that's just normal. Like it's okay. It's not meant to be seen as like this criminal indulgence. Like it's just part of your life and you don't eat, a huge amount of it. It's always like a fairly small size.
Yeah.
But I really think that like the health habits and the diet culture and this could be a whole nother topic, but like the gaining weight or the becoming unhealthy about something is it happens as soon as you criminalize the thing. Like if you're just like, you know what, I feel like having a little cake with my morning coffee. Okay. And then we move on. And it's okay.
Well, and that's the thing that's so crazy, right? It's just a belief and a perspective and a label that we're putting on it when it's actually just a food. Like there's no deeper meaning to it than that. But yeah, and like the only reason it has meaning is because we give it meaning. And I just never got that until more recently. So
yeah, it's so freeing too.
Very liberating.
You really, yes, it is. Because then you're like, oh, a Christmas cookie sounds good. Or they're like, oh, I don't really feel like that right now. And it's just like very detached. You're like, okay, moving on. And it doesn't become a fixation or anything like that.
Yeah. Whew, I needed that when I was younger, for sure. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Thank you, little German cakes.
Yeah, no, they're very good. But
and when do you go to your next location, which you've announced, so we don't have to?
Yes. So next location is going to be in Austria, and we are heading there on, I'm doing math in my head. So by the time this is published, we'll already be there. But on Friday night, we're doing the first night of Christmas markets in Rothenburg in our current town.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, we're doing the first night. So at least we get one night. And then on Saturday, we're transferring to Nuremberg, Germany.
Okay.
Which we need to get to Austria. But Nuremberg has one of the most famous Christmas markets in all of Europe. So thankfully it's on the way. So we're going to do that Saturday night. And then Sunday morning, very early, we're taking a train to Austria.
Yay.
We're just going full steam ahead. Yeah. And we did, I haven't even posted this yet, but we went to Strasbourg, France as well last weekend. Have you heard of Strasbourg?
This is like the Christmas market that I want to go to so badly. I am obsessed with Strasbourg. I literally watch like YouTube walkthroughs of Strasbourg.
Oh, you'll have another one coming soon.
I'm so excited. I'm obsessed with this town. Like I want to die there. I love it so much.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I literally was editing the vlog for that when
now I know. Wait, do you know when it's going live so I can like plan my evening activities accordingly?
I'm aiming for Europa Park this week and then Strasbourg next week. So
because like I'm gonna make hot chocolate about it and sit on the couch with the Christmas lights all cozy and be like, okay.
Yay. Yeah.
I love that you got to go there.
Yes, I'm in my YouTube era for sure. Like I'm very much enjoying that style of media.
Like longer form video.
I'm a long form girly. Why have I fought this for so long?
Because the culture has moved toward say as much as you can in as little time as possible.
No,
it's just not possible.
I love YouTube and I love blogs, and that's that. But anyways, yes, Strasbourg, I want you to go there because you would love it. It was very crowded. It was like Magic Kingdom New Year's Eve level crowds, but
Yikes.
That it was also the first Saturday. So the Christmas markets we went to a couple years ago, it was like, here's a Christmas market and it's in this one location.
Right.
And in Strasbourg, which I'm sure it's like this in other cities, but this was my first time seeing this. In Strasbourg, it was the whole city was like a Christmas market. So there's like a cluster of stands here. You walk a little, a cluster of stands here, and it just was this big circle. So, and the cathedral was bigger than I can comprehend.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I think it would jar you. You would just be like, this is too big for me to like, for my brain to understand.
Take it down a notch, Strasbourg.
It's amazing.
I'm so excited to see it.
Thanks. Yeah, I want you to go there, like with that reaction.
Oh, it is very high on the list.
Yeah.
Very high on the list. I have like two I don't know, circuitous like Europe bucket lists. I'm sorry. Like the just general travel and then the exclusively Christmas time travel. I'm sure it's beautiful all year round, but it looks like a storybook Christmas town. Like it looks like a snow globe and then like a fairy tale and then everything put together. I'm just
absolutely.
Yay. Anyway,
I think seasonal travel is the way to go. Because I mean, I love other times of the year for certain things, but there's nothing that lights me up like seeing places decked out for Christmas.
Yeah. Europe does it correctly. Well, speaking of Christmas markets, I will be not going to a European one this year, but Anthony and I are going to go up to Toronto for a couple of days, and they have a beautiful Christmas market that is very like Europe-esque because it's Toronto and it's a super international city. And I've been looking at like videos and pictures and stuff, and it looks really pretty. So I was like, okay, we can't get to Europe this year, but we're going to do this, and it's going to be great. So
I want to hear about that actually, because I didn't know they did one, and that's not.
I didn't either.
That's not too hard to get to.
No. Oh my gosh, Toronto's so close to here. Yeah, for those of you who are like, what? Canada's very close to us. I think we've probably talked about this before, but depending where you're going. No, from here, we can be in Toronto in 2 hours.
2 hours.
Depending on like border traffic and everything getting across the border. We had talked about going last year and then it just didn't work out timing wise. So we're going to go up for a couple days this year. It's like our Christmas gift to each other. We like to do, like we get each other a few little things to open on Christmas morning, but the like big gift is just like experiential stuff. So we're like, why don't we just go up for a couple of days and get a cute Airbnb and like somewhere where we can walk everywhere. And I'm letting him pick all the restaurants and stuff because he lived and worked there for a while.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Like it probably was more than 10 years ago now, but yes, he did. And so, and his family, his father's side of the family, a lot of them still live there because when his father emigrated from Italy, he actually emigrated to Canada first and then came to the States. So a lot of his family is still up there. So we're going to go up again another time, just probably for the day with his dad to like make our rounds to the family. There's some of the Italian relatives I haven't met yet. So we figure it's probably time.
Yeah. That'll be so fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So I will report back because I don't know how much like content gathering I'll be doing, although I did just get a new phone and the camera is pretty great.
Is it the 15?
No, it's the 14 Pro Max. I need a big phone. Like I have to, I don't know. I can't do little. I just have to have the big phone. So
I feel like the girlies always want the big phones.
Yes.
And the guys
Anthony
are like,
has a small one and he's like, why do you want this thing?
Even the same way. He's like, I don't like the big phone. I need it to be small. I'm like, well, I need the big phone. I need to see.
I need to see what I'm doing. Exactly. So maybe I will a little bit. I don't know. It's not going to be JFA quality.
Oh my gosh. It would be great.
I will definitely let you know how it is. I'm very excited. I'm bringing my like parka.
Yeah.
Because I want to be outside all night and I don't want to be cold. And I have this like literally, it was made in Canada. It's like down almost to my ankles, like big parka. And I never wear it. I leave it here because there's no point in bringing it to Florida. But we're going to bust it out for this excursion. It's going to be good.
Having the right clothes definitely makes a difference in these temperatures.
Yeah. So very much looking forward to that. And so we'll be doing Toronto Christmas markets while you're doing Austrian Christmas markets potentially.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to all of my travel updates, but I want to hear about what's going on with you. Like, what's new? Any life updates?
Yeah. Okay. So I was in Orlando last month. Oh yeah. So I was in Orlando last month and I got to dress up like Barbie for a week. So that was fun.
Was that an event?
Yeah, it was. It's actually kind of funny. Actually it's not funny, like haha funny, but my friend Erin, she and I used to hang out with Belle a lot, and she now works for this company called Premier Rides, just like on their marketing team. And Premier Rides and Ripley's, believe it or not, team up every year to throw this event in conjunction with IAAPA, which is that big attractions industry expo that happens in Orlando every year. They also do one in Europe at some point.
Europa Park is actually featured there, I think, because
yeah, I'm sure there was somebody from Europe. It's hard because I don't like, you meet so many people and it's a whirlwind and you're exhausted. So I'm sure I met somebody from there, but yeah, it's cool. So the event happens in Orlando every year. I think this year there were like, I don't know, a couple thousand vendors or something crazy like that. But it's cool, and a lot of it is philanthropic. Like they raised a bunch of money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they ended up pouring a bunch of money into the like local Orlando economy, which is always great. So this event happens every evening of the IAAPA event for the whole week, and it's just an invite-only thing for CEOs, important people, partners, and competitors, whatever, for them to come at the end of the day of like being on the show floor, exploring the expo, going to see, you know, exhibits and talks and things like that, and just like unwind, relax, have food, eat, drink, and be merry. So Ripley's and Premier put this event on every year, and they pick a different theme, and they basically reserve the like penthouse suites at the Hyatt Regency, and they decorate them every night for each night's theme of the week-long event. And then there are hosts that like work the event. So you're not like replenishing food or anything, but you can get people drinks if they want them, talking to people, meeting people, connecting people with each other, that kind of thing. To me, honestly, it felt a lot like being a restaurant manager and table touching. Like that was the closest thing I can equate to it, like making sure everyone's having a good time. Hey, it's nice to meet you. Just like striking up conversations, things like that. And back in October, Erin was like, hey, are you in Orlando and do you need some work to do? And I said, yes and yes. She said, okay. So it is a whirlwind of a week. It is exhausting. You go and like stay at the hotel down like on I Drive because there's just no way, even for me, like living locally, some nights, I think the latest night I got back to my hotel room at like 4:25 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is wild. It's just so much. And so every night of the event, it's like Monday to Friday, gets a little later and a little later and a little crazier. And by the end, I was like, I had no voice. It was straight up Disney Frump, Muppet style, Sweetums, like my voice, my vocal register. I feel like it still hasn't really recovered. I'm still struggling a little bit, but it's really fun. All the other girls that I worked with were amazing. The bartenders were amazing. The people who worked at the Hyatt were amazing. Like the people from Premier and Ripley's were amazing. The CEO of Ripley's is a sweet, sweet baby angel. His name is Jim, and he wore like martini shirts every night. And so we became friends.
Oh my God, I love that.
It was just fun to meet people. I think from like the pandemic and working from home, like I forgot that I'm an extremely social person. I forgot how much of an extrovert I actually am. And so it was nice to reconnect with that side of myself and to remind myself that like I can walk up to a perfect stranger and say hello and introduce myself and start talking to them. And it felt a little like Disney. It's just that I was being myself.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, yeah. So the theme the whole week was Barbie. because of the movie, which is great. It felt like a full circle thing because we both loved the movie and we talked about it on Rediscover. And then they were like, yeah, the theme is Barbie this year. And I was
So
like,
fun.
amazing. So there was like this loop of different scenes from the film playing on the TVs in each of the suites every night. And every night we did a different theme. So we did vintage Barbie night where we like dressed up in like these vintage 1940s like swimsuits and stuff. And it was very like martini glasses and like classy. And then the second night was career Barbie, because Barbie can be anything. And so there was like astronaut Barbie and Dr. Barbie, and I was CEO Barbie, and there was just a lot of different things. And the third night was the most fun for me. It was Ken's Mojo Jojo Casa House. It was like basically cowgirl Barbie. And then the last night was beach party. So it was like the gingham outfit that Margot Robbie wears. It was like something like that. And there were beach
cute.
balls and light up leis, and all the decorations are like things that people can take too. So it's very interactive. People are like going around to see like what merch is there, like what they can grab, and they're like, oh, am I allowed to take this? And there's things they can like play with and whatnot. It's like a Toys R Us kind of. It was really fun to like watch a bunch of adults in suits like let loose a little and have fun and play. So yeah, the themes were really fun every night though. And then I had this moment leading up to it where I was like, I don't want to style my hair for this event every day. I'm just going to get a wig. And so I messaged Leah and I was like, hello, my wig cosplay guru. Can you tell me where I can find a Barbie wig that doesn't look like Party City trash without like breaking the bank? And she was like, girl, Etsy. And so I went and looked and found this one that had like darker roots and bangs, which is important because if you're wearing a wig and you don't have time to like really, really style it,
right,
hairlines can be tricky. So I bought this wig. It ended up looking like straight up Taylor Swift. Everyone the whole week long thought it was my real hair. Thank you, Disney, for teaching me how to properly pin a wig. But everyone was like, you look like Taylor Swift. You look like Taylor Swift. So I'm just on cloud nine the whole week. Like,
so that pink suit, so that one looked like the man
that, yes.
And the concert, like literally nights before,
like, was literally nights before.
I know, you could have planned it better.
One. I know, it was perfect because she was wearing that silver one for a while, and then like she switched to this pink one, and then like they pick out the costumes, they get our sizes and everything, and the costumes stay at the venue, and then we like every night get our costumes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this hair and this outfit, I straight up look like the man. And it was great. It was so much fun. I've never been blonde. I've never considered being blonde. It was fun to just pretend to be blonde for a week. I would never do that because I don't want to damage my hair, my actual hair, but it was just really fun. They did this drone show, it's Orlando, so it's go big or go home. They did this drone show. They were trying to break the Guinness World Record for like the most drones in a drone show at any given time. I think they did. So that was cool that was happening. Just a lot of things like night to night. And so by the end of the week, it's kind of like when you go on a Disney cruise and your server is the same every night. And by the end of it, you feel like you know them. I felt like I got to know people. And by the end of the week, it was like sad to say goodbye. But it's really fun. But it was like, 12, 13 hours straight. My sleep schedule was so off because I am not the type of person to stay up until 3 or 4 in the morning ever. So I had to
gotta rally.
I had to use the blackout curtains in the hotel room, which I don't like to do because I like to wake up with the sun like naturally. Normally I don't shut my blinds all the way. I'm weird like that. So I had to I got a hair clip, like a claw clip, and I closed the blinds with that so that it wouldn't wake me up, so I could just sleep as long as possible. So it definitely took some time. It took at least a week afterward for me to feel like I was back on a normal sleep schedule.
Yeah.
I was just exhausted, but it was definitely worth it. I definitely need another year before I do it again because I'm still tired and I
bet.
will for a long time.
Oh my God.
It was a lot of fun. And yeah, it was just fun to be Barbie every day. What a little childhood dream. So
I know, that's really, really fun.
Cool. Yeah. And the
outfits were cool.
Fun. It was fun great. Also to kind of perform again. I haven't done anything like that since Disney. And so it was fun to I don't know, just like put on a wig and the makeup and the costume and like kind of embody somebody else for a while. Obviously, I'm still introducing people. Like, I'm like, hi, I'm Kristen. Like, I'm not like, hi, I'm Barbie. But so many of the girls at the event, like the women our age, like elder millennials, things like that, were like, hi, Barbie, all night long.
One of my favorite things about girl culture in 2023.
Yes, yes. And by the end of the week, they would start wearing like pink. Like, they would put on like a pink blazer. There's so many pink like workwear things now that just didn't used to exist. Like, it is just blown up because of, I think, Barbie and Taylor Swift. Like, it's just available. My friend Erin wore like a fully bright pink like suit, like blazer and pants the one night, and everyone was like, hi, Barbie, to her the whole time. It was so fun.
They're just helping us all reclaim our femininity, and I'm here for it.
Yes, it was so great. And yeah, at the end of it all, I was just like, you know what? I feel really accomplished. Like, I did not know that I could stay awake that long.
Yeah.
I did not know that I had that much stamina in me. I did not know that like I had that much of a social battery. Like, there were so many things that I had lost about myself that I didn't realize until I did this.
Yeah.
And so even just from like a personal growth standpoint, it was hugely positive, because ever since then I've been like, I can handle this. I can handle this.
Yeah.
I can stay up this late. Like, I have energy left in me. I don't need the second cup of coffee. Like, I got it. So
that is a confidence booster.
It was a huge confidence booster, and it was just a lot of fun. And I hope I get to do it again next year. I hope they call me back. I don't know what the theme will be, but it was just really fun. It was like a week, so it's like, okay, whatever.
That's so fun.
I can suck it up for a week and just survive on like coffee and a prayer. So
yeah.
Then I sort of just slept for 2 days straight afterward, and then I came back to Buffalo, and then it snowed. There was something else that Monday, as it was starting to snow, pre Jonas Brothers concert, my sister came over, and Anthony had a dentist appointment, and then he came back, and then we all went to look at a wedding venue. And we've gone to see a few wedding venues. We had booked this tour at this one, seemed pretty promising. And then my sister was coming to the concert, and I was like, well, you can just come see the venue with us. Like, it's not a big deal. She's going to be my maid of honor anyway. So we are driving through the treacherous snow to see this venue. We keep missing the turn and like spinning a little because the roads are so snowy and bad. It was terrifying. At one point I was like, Anthony! He was like, I got it. Can you please try to calm down? My sister's in the back just like,
yeah.
So we finally get there. It is a snow globe. It was like the snow was coming down, not like so much that you couldn't see, but it was coming down, and it just looked so picturesque and pretty. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So we park, and I'm like, okay, let's like take a minute. I just had like a little tingly feeling, and I was like, let's just take a minute. I was really stressed out. There were like other things going on. The day was stressful. Like, there was like too much to do, not enough time. We had to leave. I didn't want to miss the appointment. I was stressed. So I was like, maybe we should take a minute to just like recenter. And Anthony was like, I'm pretty sure you're the only one in this car who feels like they need to recenter. I was like, yes, I am saying this for me. So we walk in, and I was like, okay. And then the woman who like technically owns and runs it comes up and introduces herself, and she's talking to us, and she's talking about, you know, like trying to get to know us, what we want, what we envision for our day, blah, blah, blah. And I've gotten that down to an elevator pitch at this point.
Yeah.
And then she's talking about like how she loves that, like when she got married, blah, blah, blah. And she said, I got married at blank. And she says this location. And Anthony's like, oh my gosh, I used to work there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. When did you get married? And she goes, about 10 years ago. And he goes, yep, I was working there then. So like Anthony might have cooked the food for this woman's wedding. Like, it's very possible. And I was like, goosebumps. And then she's like, so what date are you thinking? What time of year? And I told her the date we want, because there's an actual date that like we had arrived at that we really wanted. And she was like, that's the day I got married. And I was like, oh, yes. Of all that, there are 365 days in the year. And she goes, that's the day I got married, and for the exact same reason. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Whoa, my jaw is on the floor.
So Sarah's like, okay. And I'm looking at her, and she knows. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So we're just like looking at the space and going around and seeing everything. And they were very intentional about, you can tell she's like seen some weddings and she's like, here are the things that work and this is why, like we did this because we've always seen this thing and we're trying to combat it, whatever. And the ceremony space is beautiful. It's so like just charming. It's overall charming, and it feels grand but intimate at the same time, which is exactly what we wanted, because we don't want a huge wedding, but we still want it to feel like a party, and we don't want it to feel like Anthony kept saying, the one venue we went to, he's like, I feel like someone would get lost. Like we'd be like, where's Uncle Jerry? Oh, he's somewhere. Like it was too big.
Yeah.
And this way, like everyone's kind of together. So the grounds and everything were beautiful. Like everything, it was ticking every box. There was only one little thing I didn't love, and it's like not even a big deal at all. And I was like, okay, like I'm done. I'm totally done. And
what's the little thing? Now I'm curious.
Little thing. No, yeah, it's fine. The little thing was like the bridal suite is kind of on the smaller side. And I straight up was like honest about it. I was like, okay, so I'm going to have a pretty big bridal party. I'm looking at probably about 8 or 9 bridesmaids if everyone says yes.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, yep, that's totally fine. She was like, basically, you would utilize the bridal suite and the groom suite until the groomsmen start arriving. But a lot of people will just then do like hair and makeup off site and then come here after, stuff like that. Like there's ways around it. And I was like, yeah, okay, totally fine. I was just curious, like if you've had larger bridal parties in here and how they make it work.
Yeah.
And I had this gut check moment because the other venue that was sort of our runner up, my favorite thing about it was the bridal suite, which shouldn't be your favorite thing about your wedding venue. It should be the venue. Like, yes, you do spend a lot of time in the bridal suite. I've been in enough weddings to know that most of the day you're in that bridal suite. But when it comes to it, like the venue and the feel and just the people that you're working with, like the people who own the venue are also important, because you're going to be working with them. You're making a very huge financial commitment to work with these people. So you have to like them. And I instantly liked her. And I felt like we instantly connected. We had these like weird serendipity moments. And I was like, okay, like this is it. My gut check is like final. So then when I got up to the bridal suite and it was small, I was like, I don't even care. Like, I'm just curious how to make it work, but I don't care that it's a thing. You know? It was just more like I was practically trying to like figure out how to make it happen for all those people. So yeah, that was the only thing. Everything else, I was like, perfect, cool. Yeah. So
I'm so excited.
Found our wedding venue. So we left and we got in the car and like we like turn around to look at my sister and she's looking at us and I'm like, okay, so I'm done. Like, that's it. Like, we're done. And we were like, oh my gosh, we found our wedding venue. So we called the next morning and we were like, she answered, it's like her cell phone number. She answered, she's driving and she's like, I'm like, we love the venue. Like, we'd love to secure our date. And she goes, yay! And she's like, it was like so not professional in the most precious way. She was like, I just got off the phone with my mom. I was telling her about you guys and how you want to get married on the same day I did, and about how your fiance might have cooked the food for my wedding, and the food was so good at my wedding. Wedding food is usually terrible. And she was just going on. And I was like, I feel so like at peace about this. Like, this is it.
That is so meant to be. I'm emotional.
Yeah, it's gonna be so beautiful. So now I have like a backdrop in mind, and now I can start filling in the details. And so it just feels like this big thing is accomplished. And also, like, not for anything, because let's be real, weddings are expensive and weddings have gotten ridiculous. Like, if you want to have a wedding venue and not just like pitch a tent in the backyard or elope or get married in a church and then like have something in your local church hall, it's crazy expensive. But I have always, since I was very young, known that I want an actual wedding. I want a wedding ceremony and a reception, and I don't want to look back and regret not doing that, because there were some moments where I was like, how are we going to make this happen? But I knew I wanted to stick with that. Like, and Anthony was totally on the same page. Like, we want a real wedding. We want to have everyone we love and care about there. We want to like make memories with these people and have this day. So like, we're just gonna have to figure out the money part. And it's the first time in my life I think I've surrendered about the financial thing when it's something to this scale. I was just like, okay, we're gonna figure it out. And then literally, like, we say we want to secure the date. We have to, do the down payment, like the deposit by this date to secure that date and whatever. And then like by the end of the day, we had the money. I'm not kidding.
That's how the universe works. It's my
to see
favorite thing to learn about.
It's crazy.
I'm so proud of you.
And our financial situation is by no way like solved. Like we're, but like as far as having the money allocated to this venue so that we could secure it, we went to see it Monday afternoon. Tuesday morning, we committed to it. By Tuesday night, last night, we had the money.
Yeah.
And we're able to be like, okay.
Well, it's because you're so clear and you're so like, this is what I want to do. And this is the vision. And I'm investing, like I'm stepping into this reality of like making this dream come true. And it shows up. Like the resources you need you're provided for. And I'm just so happy for you. I'm so excited.
Thank you. And I'm sure there's going to be like 16 other financial headaches coming my way that I'm like, how are we going to pay for this? But like, it's just going to happen.
Or you just trust the process and it will work out. Even if it's not immediate, it will work out and it will come together because this is special and this is part of this beautiful life you're creating.
So anyway, yes, the universe totally conspired. All the stars aligned. We got our ideal wedding date and we got this venue that turned out to just be so perfect for us. And so now we get to do all the fun things, just diving in to all the little details, which is super fun because I'm very detail oriented. So I'm excited about that. And honestly, just having the time to do it a little bit at a time is such a gift because we're not trying to like, cram all this planning into a year and get married sooner. We get to take our time. And so I'm kind of like gonna go, I think, month to month with like my little projects, at least until it gets to the point where it's like, okay, you have to have this to this vendor by this date and all these things. So I'm just gonna enjoy it. So starting in January, I'll really, really dive in. But now that we have the venue secure, I can take a little breath. And then in January, I'll start working on like designing save the dates and sending out little bridesmaid boxes and things like that. So
really fun.
I got a little Pinterest board that I have like subsections and I added my sister to it so she can see everything. And it's been fun to like just scroll. Pinterest and I are having a renaissance.
Yeah.
Wedding planning is where Pinterest is like, yes, hello, we are here for you, because it is literally a digital mood board. So perfect. Because once it like figures out your aesthetic, it's like, you might also like these things. And I'm like, well, as a matter of fact, I do. So
great. Pinterest. I just learned this because I've been learning more about Pinterest lately, but it's like, it was literally designed to be like a pin board and like, obviously, but like envisioning each little virtual thing you save as a pin on a cork board, which I just, it's so obvious, but like, it just, I
love that
for me,
that like tangible visual though.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Every time I see something, I feel like I'm like I put it into the like florals category. I feel like I'm looking at all the ideas like, okay, how can I take all of these and like pull things that I like and things, leave the things that I don't and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. It's so interesting too, because Pinterest is it's more of a search engine than a social media, which I kind of like. It kind of combines the two, but I do think it leans more towards search engine. So it's great for planning purposes, whether it be wedding, travel, or Christmas inspo.
I know, right?
It's got it all.
The wedding stuff is like innumerable. There's so much. And it's so funny because I had started this Pinterest board by accident like years and years ago. And it was like a private little board just for me. It was called A Girl Can Dream. And it was like little wedding inspo things that I just liked. And I was like, well, I'll save that for someday. I'll save that for someday. And now it's someday. And I'm looking back through it like, no.
Yeah, right. I would be so interested to see my ones because I think in like 2013, 14, that's when we all started doing that. I think it would be hilarious.
It wasn't that bad. There was some, I like remembered that era of life though. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And there are honestly some things that I was like, no, I actually still really like that. But a lot of it is like,
Yeah.
So I did an overhaul, reorganized it completely. So now everything that's on it is relevant but it's still private. It's just me and my sister. So everything, secret. And honestly, Anthony could probably like, I'm not trying to exclude him from the planning. It's just that there is a board about my dress. So I don't want him to see any of that. I don't want him to even like know where I'm going in my mind yet, because
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want to know, I don't want to see it, I don't want to hear about it. Like, I just want to be surprised. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not like superstitious, but I am a little stitious. So, he's not going to see it until the day. And I do want to do the like sleeping apart the night before thing,
Yeah.
because and he like, I was like, I don't know, do you want to, or do you want to like, because having coffee together in the morning is our ritual.
Yeah.
It's like our intentional time for the day. I was like, it'd be nice to have that on the morning of our wedding, like that time together. And he's like, yeah, I want to be like so anxious to see you. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to wake up together and then be like, see you later. I want it to be like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen you for a whole day.
Yeah. Like the
Okay.
anticipation.
Okay. So I think we're gonna do that, and we're
Just
gonna
do it
do
the day before that.
Yes, exactly. Well, we want to, and you'll think this is cute, and I can say this without having to cut anything out. So the place we discussed doing the catering,
Mm-hmm.
we want to do a little photo shoot there the day
Yes.
before the wedding, or a couple days before the wedding, or even the week before, like a little coffee date photo shoot.
Yeah, I love that. That would
Because
be
that
cute.
would be really special, because it's important to both of us, and I think it'd be really cute. So
I love
that's
it.
like, I want to do that. So anyway, a million ideas. Let me tell you, like, you think you're going to have it all organized and together, and you think you're going to make one master spreadsheet, but actually it ends up being like, at least for me, like ideas will pop into my head, or I'll be talking to someone and they'll give me an idea. And I'm like, oh my God, let me write that down. So I text it to Anthony, or I email it to ourselves. We have like a wedding email,
Yeah.
or I throw it in a note in my phone. And then I'm like, where did I put that idea?
Yeah. I feel like,
A
oh,
lot.
I feel like that happens with whenever you're trying to plan something big. And I still haven't quite figured out like what's the best universal thing to allocate all of the
Yeah.
information into.
I think you just have to do it the way that works best for you, honestly. Because
Yeah.
I know some people that are like my friend Allie, she was like, I got the spreadsheet. It's all in there. It's organized. It's analytical, whatever. And
Yeah.
that's perfect for her. But for me, I'm more of like a brain dump, and then like recollect everything, and then, like topic by topic,
Yeah.
see what's what. And I think for my brain, it's like organized chaos, and that works. So I'm going with it. But I think it's just different for everybody. It's just like the literal biggest event I'm ever going to plan, probably.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not like a socialite or an event planner professionally. So I'm like, okay, yeah,
It'll be fun. You're going to do a beautiful job.
I hope so.
Well, very exciting. That's a huge update.
Yeah, it is. It's a relief for sure.
Yeah, that's a big step.
It is. It's the big thing you need to do to catalyze all the other smaller decisions and things, because you can't really know what other things are going to look like until you have a space to put them.
Right.
So now I have a space.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh my gosh. So exciting.
No, sorry, I just went on a wedding tangent, but I did say
No,
that
that's
I
the
would
content
like,
we're here for.
I was just gonna say, I'm trying to both like respect the privacy of, our day, but also to like loop you guys in on the process, because it's been very interesting and we're only just getting started.
Yeah, and I think it's just interesting to hear different people's perspectives, and
Yeah.
especially, within like the community that we've cultivated here with Rediscover, it's like we're all fam, So
Yeah.
it's cool to hear people's processes, whether you have like a personal friendship or like a social media type relationship. I love hearing people's approaches to
Yes.
that. So thank you for sharing what you do.
Yeah. And I honestly think at this stage in the game, the best advice I can give is like, be open to, this isn't like parenting, like be open to the advice of the brides that have come before you, because there is no one right way to do it. However, there is so much knowledge to be gained from experience. And I know it's annoying, like if you're a new mom and everyone's like, this is how you have to wean the baby and sleep train and all these things, and you just want to be like, shut up, I'm going to figure this out for myself. Totally get that. In this situation though, when it's like you're dealing with vendors and contracts and money, and you're hoping that you're not being scammed or swindled or whatever, you want to like talk to your bride friends who have just gone through it more recently and have a fresh perspective, because there will be things that they loved, and there will be things that they will be like, I wish I did this differently. Here's why. And maybe you hear why they wish they did it differently and you still want to do it the other way. That's totally fine. But at least like sitting down and talking through it, the best ideas we've come up with so far have come from those conversations and just like, you know, brain triggers or whatever. Like someone brings something up and I'm like, oh, what if we did something similar, but this, because it feels more like us, that kind of thing. So
yeah,
be open to the experiences of the brides because there are many and they are varied, but they're always like full of something you can take away. Like we went to see this one venue. It didn't end up being for us. We knew that pretty much right away, but we decided to like still do the whole tour. And then she's the one who gave us the idea for the date because we have like a few different things we're trying to, you know, factor in. And then this date ended up being perfect, like the perfect way to consider all of those things. And I was like, okay. And we walked away from that and we were like, okay, if we have nothing else to take away from this, that was a huge gift that they just gave us. So we're grateful that we did it. So
that's such a life lesson there. Like to be open to experiences, because even if it's not like the thing you've been waiting for, it may have a really integral piece to the grander picture, which is such a good takeaway.
Yeah.
Lots of life lessons I feel like will come up throughout the wedding planning process.
Yes. Yes.
Very cool.
It's gonna be fun. Looking forward to it. So
Yay. How exciting.
Yeah. I've got my master guest list. It has to be refined, but I think we're narrowing down people. So
yeah, that's a huge project.
It is. It is. And you really have to set aside your guilt.
Yeah.
It might not be the right word, but like you can't invite the world. Someone's going to be offended.
Yeah.
It's just reality. So you have to just get over it.
Yeah.
And
it's so
that
hard.
is the part where you have to just be like, you know what? It's my day. Sorry. But it is. So that'll be interesting to suss out. But yeah. I'm just excited about like bridal party stuff. Like I want to start getting on that.
That's fun.
Yeah. Anyway, wedding things and Christmas markets and European travels and the Jonas Brothers and snow.
We just made a Christmas movie watching list at lunch today. Good. And we went through like each date of December and like the vibe of the movie that matches it. So now we have like a list and a movie corresponding. So we're going to try and
that. I love that. Yeah.
Because we're like, okay, Elf, that feels like a Christmas Eve movie. Okay, the Santa Claus, that's either like December 22nd, 23rd. Yeah. And we like matched them all, which makes it really fun.
Yeah. Growing up, there was always definitely like, this is the movie we watch on this day. Like, if I had to pick a Christmas Day movie, I feel like The Polar Express is either a Christmas Eve or Christmas Day movie. And then I would say like the original Santa Claus, I would put in one of those places too.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite is White Christmas. I love it.
That's our Christmas Day movie.
Yeah, I love that movie so much. New Year's Day is Holiday Inn for me and my mom, which is still like black and white. It's like so old, but we love it.
So cute.
It's Fred Astaire. Like it's Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby. I love it. But the Polar Express feels like, maybe that feels more like Christmas Eve. So maybe the problem is they all feel like Christmas Eve to me.
So Polar Express has a very anticipatory plot line.
Yeah, I feel like that's Christmas Eve.
And that's how I kind of was like determining which ones would be lead up and which ones on the day.
Yeah.
But I feel like Polar Express is very anticipatory.
Yeah. Anthony and I sat him down for his inaugural viewing of The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, yay.
Which, like, if you know me at all, you know that this is in my like top 5 Christmas movies.
It's a good one.
I love it. I cry every time. Also a good one. I think honestly, like leading up to Christmas, it's a good one because, you know, the animation is spotty and it's kind of frumpy in places, but the Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas is like a non-negotiable. And I know it's a biased thing, but like even before Disney, it was just, it's perfect and it's so meaningful. And the message is so powerful because Belle doesn't know how to do anything but powerful. And I think it's a good one, like middle of the Christmas season, like mid-December, because it's a busy time. I mean, our calendars are already so full of like this day with these people, and then we're going to go see this family, and then we're going to have this Christmas party with these people. And they're all really fun things, but it's still exhausting. But I think that's a good like mid-season one to like recenter and remind yourself like why we do all of this and like what's actually important here. So that's a good one.
We've been watching really like cheesy Christmas movies at this point in the year because like it's low stakes, but we still like kind of want to be.
You gotta ramp up. Some of the like Netflix ones are kind of. There's one with Vanessa Hudgens. God,
was it the Christmas Prince or no? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking.
Princess Switch.
Princess Switch. That's what it is.
That's what it's called. And then there's a sequel, and I want to say there's like a third one, but I don't know if I've seen that one. It's really cute. It's so cheesy. The acting is like spotty at best, but it's really just like it's kind of Hallmarky. I think it's a little bit better than a Hallmark movie.
Holiday with Emma Roberts is a pretty good one in that genre.
Yes.
We just watched The Best Christmas Ever. That was a totally random choice one. And it was cheesy, but it was pretty cute.
Christmas with the Cranks was one.
Oh, that's an older one. Not old, but like earlier.
Like I think I saw it like in the theaters when it came out or something.
That's a funny one. It's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, so it's great. She's like coming out of the woodwork lately and phenomenal.
We love. We watched
Christmas Vacation, obviously.
Oh, I hate that one.
You hate it?
I hate it. I will die on this hill. I hate Lampoon. I talked about it on Leah's podcast for like 20 minutes last year.
Wow. Okay. So I'm not like a National Lampoon's, like the only one I care about seeing is the Christmas one. It's just like, I think it's like in our family, there's like those moments that are so quotable that we like constantly, I don't know, like my sister will be like, oh, shitter's full, like I don't know, and we always do the like, why is the carpet all wet, Todd? Those like just little, it's just funny, and honestly it always made me feel like my family had it together, like okay, at least we're not
I just really cannot stand the dad. I think he's such a jerk. It really bothers
definitely
me.
Is it also just feels very like 80s 90s, like it just feels kind of, I don't know. I will watch it once a season. It's not the one I look forward to the most. I think it's funny. I think the Grinch is way funnier. Like if I'm looking for a classic funny Christmas movie, the Jim Carrey Grinch is like where it is at for me. Like I will recite that movie backwards and forwards. I love it. But I'll watch it once. That's kind of how I feel about A Christmas Story, though. And I know that's
I don't like that one either.
I don't like it. My brother loves it. It was always one of his favorites. I just never really cared about it. I don't know.
There's like, this more relates to Lampoon, but like there's a level of cringe that I can handle. And
it's like crude humor.
Yeah, I don't really like crude humor.
I don't either.
And I only like cringe if it's like cute, not if it's like gross.
How do you feel about Home Alone?
I like Home Alone.
I like Home Alone a lot. I think
I love the music specifically, and I love Kevin McAllister. He's very cute.
I just like a John Hughes movie. So I think of like the 80s Christmas movies or like that era of Christmas movies that came out. Home Alone is definitely my favorite. The first one or the second one, honestly. I love them.
They're both so good. I can't decide which one's better.
So it's great. Yeah. We looked up the suite at the Plaza Hotel that like Kevin and his family end up staying in the end just to see how much it costs per night, and it's like $21,000 or something.
Yeah, but probably not in the 90s.
Right, in the 90s it was probably like 10,000 or something, but
oh my gosh,
it's wild.
Too funny. That gives you guys some good Christmas movie inspiration.
Rex. And then there's all the like little claymation ones that I know you love too.
Rudolph and Frosty, yes. And
I love the Year Without a Santa Claus. That one's probably my favorite. I don't know.
They're all so cute.
That one. I like the Heat Miser and the Snow Miser. I think they're funny.
I haven't watched those in a long time.
And then
Elf, obviously, that's my top favorite of all time. That's my Christmas Eve.
It was probably in my top 2 or 3 as a kid. I don't know why as I get older it's like moved down. Still love it. I just think, I don't know. I think like the Grinch is actually, I like the Grinch more than Elf.
Wow.
I know that's wild. I know that's weird to say. And then there's Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas.
Oh, I love it, but I always get sad.
I cry. Oh, for sure. But yeah, Anthony had never seen the Muppets Christmas Carol, and he loves the Muppets.
Thank God you're marrying
is important. I know. His Kermit impression. I know a lot of people can do a Kermit impression, but like his is ridiculously spot on.
Soulmate status.
Wild. Like we will be somewhere and I'll be like, say that as Kermit because I just want to hear it. And then he will also do Miss Piggy. It's amazing. Never a dull moment. But yeah, I was like, you have to see this movie. I understand that you know the story of A Christmas Carol, but this is superior because the Marley Brothers are Statler and Waldorf, and it's everything. And like Rizzo and Gonzo narrate it. It's everything.
I love it. So anyways, that's some good Christmas movie inspiration for you guys if you haven't started watching already, which I'm starting to trickle those movies in there, and it's just my favorite part of the year.
I like that Thanksgiving was like a little earlier in November than it usually is. Not that it was early, but it was like the 23rd. So there felt like there was time left afterward. It just didn't feel like it was like, okay, now it's December. And I feel like this like easing into it time has been good.
What a magical holiday season it will be.
Yay. I hope you bring us along with you for your shopping and driving and dashing through the snow and your baking and wrapping. And it's going to be a good, long, cozy episode for you.
Yes, I hope we provide a little extra coziness for you during the holiday season here.
This is a very life updatey episode.
It is, and I like it. We're in our, we're winding down at the end of the year. Our next episode really will probably be about 2023 reflection, which is exciting because that's going to be our New Year's episode. I can't believe we're here already.
Right. What is that first Tuesday of January? Is it like,
I don't know.
I think it's like the 2nd. I think it's the day after New Year's Day.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So we're going to have to be on it for that. But yeah, it's been about a whole year since we've done our Rediscover Reform Stream of Consciousness podcasting, and we made it here today.
Crazy. I can't believe that the year's almost over.
No, it's been an interesting one.
It has been an interesting one.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster, but to quote the Jonas Brothers, I'd go back and ride that roller coaster with you.
Mm-hmm. They always know what to say. We love getting to spend this time with you. I can't believe it's the end of the year. And I hope that you all just have the most magical holiday season wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Just enjoy every moment.
Happy holidays.
Yes.
From our little Rediscover fam.
Thank you for being here. We love you so much. And we will talk to you in 2024.
I hope that next year is just full of all your dreams coming true.
Yes, we love that. We're putting that out into the universe for each and every one of us.
It's just all going to come together. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Christmas.
We love you. Bye.
Outro, take.
Joining us for today's episode of Rediscover.
If you haven't already subscribed, hit that button and join the Rediscover fam.
Come back on the first Tuesday of every month for brand new episodes.
If you're like us and you have opinions about everything, leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. Your positivity inspires our creativity, and we love hearing from you.
Follow us on Instagram at JessicaFaye508 and positively.Kristen.
And check out Jess's blog at theroadjesstraveled with 1l.com.
Until next time, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye!